When it first came out, a lot of people thought that it's evil, that there is a potential danger and threat.
Product of devil.
Exactly.
Danger, danger, danger. And if we develop feelings in ourselves, if we develop empathy, then we are irreplaceable.
Hello, I am Gulnara Omar and welcome to my weekly podcast. Please join me and my guests as we dive into wellness, empowerment psychology, health, beauty, and helpful tips on how to create positive change with greater energy and courage. So, let's get inspired to live healthier, more empowered, and fulfilling lives.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my podcast. And today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, artificial intelligence, and how AI affects people, how it empower or disempower human beings. My guest today, lovely Eugenia. And Eugenia, she's an interior designer and design educator. And she actively using and utilizing principles of artificial intelligence. And today we are going to talk about her principles and approaches in education and your personal attitude to this topic and what you think about AI, what are the obstacles in education and in with students and maybe your colleagues, and how people look at it in general, and maybe psychological aspect of it as well. Welcome, Eugenia.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, I think I have a lot to share because the technologies have evolved immensely throughout the last 6 months, even 1 year, 6 months, and every day it's changing and gives people more opportunities and tools to use it in personal life, in business life, in education, to improve processes, to
increase efficiency.
To increase efficiency, for sure. And I'm a big advocate for this technology. And I continuously take different courses, educate myself, and find ways that we can utilize it for our own benefits.
Excellent, Eugenia. I wonder what people think about what you just said, that you're a big fan of it, because I have friends and people of my generation and older who are scared when they think about AI. They think it's a big danger, there's a threat there. So what can you say about this? Have you experienced any resistance from your colleagues or students or their parents or anybody in your life?
This is a very well discussed topic everywhere I go, in different conferences where the companies introduce their AI technologies. And it's true, a lot of people could be scared of it. They are not sure how to use it. And I think, as with all technologies, when we get to know it, when we get to use it and try it ourselves, when we become more familiar with it, we don't see that much of threat in it. I did some research and was reading on some history about different types of technology, television, computers, right? When it first came out, a lot of people thought that it's evil, that there is a potential danger and threat.
Product of devil.
Exactly.
That you said.
And then nowadays, nobody thinks that, right? And nowadays, there are still cons and pros for each technology, for each product. But when we know it well, we know how to use it, so we don't use it against ourselves, right? There are two sides to each object, to each piece of technology.
Yeah. I like how you said it. And yesterday we had a conversation with you on the phone. Remember how I was saying how some of my friends and people from my generation and older, they look at it as a threat, because also they habitually watch news on a regular basis. And when they watch news, they see a lot of negative stuff coming out. That it's going to replace people, replace jobs, replace our brain, and all that. Unfortunately, it's a very narrow-minded way to look at AI, at anything, because everything has a good and bad side. Let's say you take a stool, you can kill somebody with a stool, or you can sit on it. It depends how we use it. So we need to have discerning ability to discern what it is for me and how can I use to my benefit and to my advantage. And you're right, anything new is a threat. And our brain doesn't like new things because our brain needs to protect us. If it's new, your brain tells us danger, danger, danger. Whenever the first time the plane was launched, people wondered, they didn't believe, how come this huge machine, the Iron Bird, went into the sky and it's over 220 tons with 300 people on board and it's able to go from A to B, right? People didn't believe it. So every time when we go with progress, there is this resistance, and everything new receives a huge amount of resistance because we don't know, we don't understand. Therefore, our brain tells us that it could be dangerous, right? So how do you deal with your students, which is younger generation? Then you have colleagues and you have the parents of students or other people, the older generation. What do they think about AI?
Yeah, it's very natural to feel threatened at first, but I look at it that it provides us opportunities. And when I concentrate my mind on that fact that, oh, how many opportunities it will give me, how much time it will save me, how it can bring me something that will improve or develop the ways I do things, improve the things I work with. Then when you concentrate on that, you start seeing all the different
Benefits.
facts, benefits, information. You start looking and finding very good information.
I
So
agree.
that's I'm always on a search of finding some good things, how it can improve. And it's good to be educated in the other, like the dark sides as well, just to be careful. But yeah, with different generations, it's there are so many different opinions. So in the college, when I introduced AI in my classes for the students, I can see how easy they can grasp on the technology, how easy they can use it, start using it right away without any blocks or barriers, resistance. But on the other side, I should educate them on how to be careful with that technology as well. So my goal is to educate people, to show them the good sides, the bad sides, what are the benefits, where they should be careful. And having this knowledge enables you to be very productive and
Interesting.
be in a good hand with technology.
I love it. I love how you actually give them a choice so they can choose, but you give them the foundation of the knowledge. This is where you go too far. This is where you don't have enough understanding. So you need to have good foundation, these pillars on which they can build their decision-making processes, right? So what should they be careful of? Because some of the students really, I'll give you an example. I had a teenager and he had issues with ADHD and perfectionism, and he couldn't start projects. He was always paralyzed. And he said, with AI, at least I can start. I have prompt, AI gives me some tools, some tips, some hints, and I have extra encouragement to do it. Before, nobody would encourage me, like, oh, you can do it, just do it. But AI would give me some answers, initial answers to do something. So it helped him. See the positive side here.
Exactly, and that's how I use it as well, to brainstorm, to get their ideas flowing, especially for creative people or for people who are really concerned about whether or not they are very knowledgeable in a certain topic and they don't know how to start, like you're right. And once it takes 1-2 minutes to get something, to get some basis, some information that will, our brain is like a sponge, right? Like we see one sentence, 2 sentences, and then it starts catching on the ideas, and
you
it
get the
starts
momentum
working.
going, right?
Yes, and you get this energy all of a sudden to start the project. And once you get excited, the energy flows, and all of a sudden I notice myself, oh my gosh, I'm like full in working on this
With
project,
confidence.
right on, and I can keep going, and yeah, I feel confident, and that's a very good start. So AI helps with that a lot.
I love how you mentioned something very important, dear friends, the word excitement. And the word excitement represents human emotion. And AI can't produce human emotion. And that's where AI can not replace this one thing. I mean, there are several things, but human emotion is so unique, and excitement is what is very important in the process. What if a person only goes with AI and no emotion, nothing? Where does it border with danger?
I always teach my students to be really careful with AI, not to try to delegate the work completely to AI, because it's not a human being, it's not a creative person, there's no creativity there. And always there should be a human component in any piece of work that somebody produces, right? It can help with data analysis, it can help with analyzing the documents, analyzing the words, restructuring the words, just based on what it has been taught and given as information before. It's really good at research, but what they should be really careful with is giving it personal information, because the first thing I typically mention is AI is open source, so everybody could input information in there. It collects that information into its knowledge base. So I always would recommend do not put any personal information. So very generically, I even come up with different names that when I use it. So that's the first precaution. And the second is use it as a starting point for ideas. It's really good with research. So instead of Googling things right now, I always use AI. Because it takes just way less time. It goes and searches all the different online platforms and brings you the information that you need, that specific information. So for research is great, and all good projects are based on research. So that is a really helpful tool.
I think I agree with you because, sorry to interrupt you, it's just very near to my heart because I do a lot of research when I build my podcasts and my books. And when you give AI good prompts, specific prompts, give me research no later than 3 years, for example, or 2 years, based on this, and indicate who is the author of the research, give exact citation, so I can credit that person. It gives the information so fast, in a matter of seconds, and it was so many pieces of research. It's amazing.
In my field of work, like I'm a creative professional,
Right.
and of course I want to save more time to be creative, to use my emotions to create projects for my clients, projects that are personalized. And of course, I don't want to spend my half of the working day doing the research and going through useless information, because when you Google stuff, there is tons and tons of information that I don't need, that I have to scan through, and I'm
filter,
losing my
right?
energy, I'm losing my enthusiasm, I'm losing my motivation to keep working on this project. With AI, yes, you're right. Like if you give a specific prompt, if you specify exactly what you need, even uploading documents, I can upload a specific system or document that I want to apply on this research or specific things that I'm looking for. And you can even ask AI to prove that information that it found is actually valid. So it will give you links and connections to those documents that I can quickly scan. Oh yeah, that looks like a government document.
There is empirical evidence.
Exactly, and you can ask it to find it. So
Nice.
this way it is trustful source. But on the other hand, it can also, you should keep in mind that it can be untrustful source as well. So everything that AI creates, we also as human beings have to analyze, to go through, to put through our own logic and brain and see whether it's actually right, because it can be wrong. I would not trust it 100% for sure.
I agree. And from psychological point of view or emotional point of view, because part of psychology is emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and all of this human behaviors, what it's based on, we base our decision not only on our thinking or cognition, on our feelings, right? So if you only ask AI to give you the answer or tell you how to feel, AI has a very limited capacity because AI is not human, it's a robot. Yes, AI has better capacity in terms of the ability to work longer hours. It can work tirelessly for hours. It's cheaper than human labor. It has less room for human error because of the algorithms and math and all that. But what it doesn't have feelings. So for me, if you ask me what can prepare us better moving forward, because in the next 10, 15 years, many professions will be used less and less because they'll be automated, they'll be replaced by robots. But what robots can't do, they cannot feel. And if we develop feelings in ourselves, if we develop empathy, then we are irreplaceable. And that's why I have some friends in spiritual community and people who can see the future or predict certain things. And many of them say the same things. If you want to be happier, if you want to be healthier, you need to build communities, smaller community, bigger communities, but you need to have that connection, which is not replaced by a robot. A robot may tell you 100 times, you're good, you're smart, you're powerful, you're confident, and maybe part of you will believe it, but another part, which is your heart, will not believe it. You mentioned something earlier, Eugenia, that it saves my time, and it kind of hit home for me, because we want to save time so we can do things we love and spend time with people we love, things that AI cannot do, right? Mm-hmm. So what, in your case, what does it save your time for? What do you do? What do your students do when they have more time?
A lot of people think that I create my designs using AI, which is not true. I keep this pleasurable part to myself. And
pleasurable is the key, right?
Yes, exactly. So I want to do the things I love doing. Selecting materials, finishes, colors. I would never delegate that to AI. I love working on clients' projects. I love analyzing their needs and wants and produce solutions. But what a lot of designers don't like doing is putting together those contracts, administration work, comparing the quotes. So imagine like sitting for several hours and trying to understand this contract and that contract, this quote and that quote, and just like read the numbers. That I can easily delegate to AI and save my own time. Work on social media content, quickly put together a script for a video, for a reel, quickly do a research on something. There is so much I learned through AI, because in real life it would take me a month to go through some kind of a book or some kind of a resource. With AI, I just ask it to summarize it for me. So now, instead of not having this piece of information in my knowledge at all, I have at least something. I have a summary of a book. I have a report. It's comprised, and I give a good prompt so I can actually find information in that resource that is of interest to me. So in that scenario, it's a very powerful tool. And I teach students how to use that for their own benefit and to save time on the creative stuff and not waste it on the stuff that is we just don't need to do that.
Amazing, amazing. And you said it. The key word is pleasurable, enjoyment. We come here to have pleasure in life, enjoy life, and what can give us more pleasure than doing something that you love? Being in the flow, getting lost in the process, right? So thank you so much, Eugenia. It's been so helpful, and I want to pick your brain for longer hours, but I know we all and our wonderful followers and listeners have limited time. But in the end, in conclusion, what I would like to say, in consideration with what Eugenia shared with us, especially in the education system, and thank you for that, that we will progress no matter what, whether we resist or not, whether we try to hold the walls of progress. No, we're not going. Life will go on and it will progress. And we either go with it, or we will be destroyed by this progress, or we will be always in that fight, in fear, in that survival mode, not in progressive mode. So we have a choice. With this information, we can decide, you know what, I'm going to do my best. I will enjoy what I love to do. I will delegate to my AI assistant what I don't enjoy, but AI can do things for me, if you're comfortable, of course. And if you're not comfortable, at least relax, enjoy your life, and let things go. And don't be scared, because nothing happened yet. We live in more or less kind and wonderful world, at least in my mind, right? This is how we see world. what you put in the world, into the world, that's what you receive. And remember, you are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. No AI can take away that from you as long as you have a beautiful heart full of feelings and emotions, and you're a human being, and we are all privileged to be called human beings and make a difference in this world. Be creative like Eugenia, be empathetic, be good listeners, be good human beings, and good participants of this society and progress. So thank you so much for watching us. Eugenia, do you have anything to say to our listeners?
Very well said, Gulnara. Thank you so much. So I would encourage our listeners to use that tool as an opportunity to grow, to do the self-development, to find out new things, and to be creative. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Eugenia. I love talking to you. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. And subscribe and bring your friends into our community, in our space, and let's grow together with enjoyment in a pleasurable manner.